So I think a lot of people are going to be confused about what the difference is from yesterday, where we were starting our little baby breakout, where ADA price was doing well, where now we're down about 6% from that point. And the answer is nothing. Nothing has really changed. This is where we get opportunity. This is where we get discounts. And I want to talk about some important things that have happened over the last 24 hours. And also, I do want to talk about, obviously, the negative comments. There's been a lot of them as of late, and that really doesn't bother me. And in fact, it's actually a really good gauge about where we're about to head to. So I want to talk about that in this video with you guys. So if you're new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yesterday, while ADA was doing its baby breakout like we talked about, I had said that I wasn't ready to really call it yet. Wasn't really ready to call it a big breakout. And this is exactly why. So ADA did exactly what it's done several times here in this trend. And that is a little bit of breach and then a retracement, a pull down, a little bit of a cool down, right? And that's not an uncommon thing. It's exactly what we dealt with yesterday. And unfortunately, BTC is the one that kind of drug everything down. You guys can see that BTC, after setting a new all-time high, running all the way up to, what was it, 108,367, we dealt with some retracement. Really what caused this to happen in the crypto market was some of this long leverage liquidations. Okay, you guys can see there wasn't a ton of them. Okay, but we dealt with some profit taking. Again, typically when we see new all-time highs, there's going to be some selling that happens, but some of these long positions got liquidated. And what you might notice is really what pushed us down in a big way was this short leverage that was open, and it is humongous. Okay, I need to really stress that you're talking about billions of dollars in short leverage, just above $108,000, right? 108,472. And the crazy thing about this, guys, is this is filled in and filled in and filled in. This is a very, very big deal. And you guys can see that now we've started to work our way up this into today, which is a good sign. And hopefully this leads to a recovery across the crypto market. But at the same time, remember, today is that day that we're waiting on some big news. We're waiting on the conclusion of the FOMC meeting. Right now, alts, they're waiting. All right. So unfortunately in alts, we don't have necessarily the same accumulation pressure. We're not the same in terms of a maturity standpoint from an asset as BTC. And why I'm mentioning that is if we look at what institutional money did yesterday, for example, it's just they continue to buy and buy and buy and buy, right? MicroStrategy obviously raised money to accumulate more BTC. They accumulated more BTC over the last 2 days. We know that institutional money yesterday added $493 million worth of BTC. We know that the spot Ethereum ETFs added $144 million there as well. So they continue to buy and accumulate. And really it's retail is the only one that's freaking out and dumping their bags. All right. It's not a big deal. Like I said yesterday, sellers are slowing down. They're running out of their positions, and we're kind of dealing with just the last, we'll call it the death throes of the sellers. All right. So what that means for ADA is right now we've come down, we've tested the bottom of our trend. We got a little breach below here. So we got basically a little bit of a fake out playing out right now. And then we're going to see what happens over the course of the day as we get our FOMC meeting, as BTC tries to make up some new ground here, right? Now, the good news, too, is that we actually got very close to closing this CME gap that we talked about on, I think, Sunday night. And we talked about the potential of BTC coming down and trying to close this. And this may be about as close as we get. We do not always close these in alt season. We've dealt with that before. So again, this for those that aren't familiar, that's futures from 1 week to the next. Nothing happens over the weekend. So sometimes you create these CME gaps and price tends to come down and try to close these gaps, right? That's exactly what happened. Where was that? Back here in November of 2023. And then you guys can see in January of 2023, BTC came down and closed that. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to ADA, some very important things have flashed here. So first of all, got to show you guys what we're seeing, not out of the realm of reality, not out of the realm of structure, okay? So ADA is doing basically exactly what it did last market cycle, almost to a T, came down, retracement, we might test the dollar here. This chart shows a potential flash crash down to, even like our 50-day moving average. That's not a guarantee. Again, this doesn't always work out exactly the same. For example, you guys can see even at the start of this trend here, no flash crash down to 78 cents. So we're showing a lot more strength in these charts, which is a very good sign. And what we've seen, at least on the on the alt side is that we're dealing with a little bit less leverage. So that's a good thing. Now, what I also want to show you guys is that we actually had a very important sign flash on the 4-hour ADA charts. I actually had some people asking me about a potential head and shoulders. That's not what this formation is. It's wonky. There's not a consistent neckline. I mean, there was an inverse head and shoulders that played out kind of right here. Basically, this is just a big blah right now. But what did flash just over the last 24 hours was actually a buy zone opportunity. So again, if you guys are not using my indicator, there's a link in the description below. There is a 7-day free trial on that. Feel free to check that out. And in fact, when we look at ADA, you guys can see that on this 4-hour, it's been really, really good at identifying opportunities. So for example, sell zone flashed here on November 23rd. Obviously dealt with some retracement. Sell zone flash here right at the top on December 3rd. Then we dealt with some retracement. Buy zone before basically our last 25% shot to the upside. Now, the question is that what's about to happen here? Does this buy zone lead us to this next extension in terms of ADA? Potentially. Again, we may have a buy the news event today. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the FOMC meeting. Obviously, again, sellers have weekend. We know that accumulation has kind of been the big trend as we've gone through some of these dips. Again, we've fallen into this opportunity zone in terms of ADA. Remember, anything below this line here is where we're starting to see more and more whale accumulation. So these are some things to pay attention to as we go through the day. So I have to say, guys, I'm not, oh, that's right. The negative comments. Negative comments are an important metric. And why I'm saying that is you can get too overheated and too overexcited and euphoric as a market. And you can also be too bearish, too negative. People, dealing with emotion too much and saying, oh my God, I just want it to go back up. And that's actually a very good bottom signal. Right now, I've seen more and more negative comments filling in, and that's a good thing. All right. It doesn't bother me any. I really don't care. And why I'm saying that is it's a good thing because it can, in fact, lead to pushes in higher prices. It can lead to big buying events. It can lead to opportunity. And that's really, frankly, what we've been in terms of ADA. Right now, people complain about this price, guys. From the other day, this is a 22% discount from just what? December 3rd. That's two weeks ago, right? So I don't get the complaining, but I get it, right? People, they overextend themselves. They spend way too much, way more than they should. But right now, understand that ADA's doing what it's always done. These times are not an unknown thing. And we may, in fact, and likely have, in fact, our best times in terms of price in the not so distant future. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully we have a great day across the crypto market, a nice bounce back, a nice rally, and we'll see what the day brings. But have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.